Insane. You are not the father moments.
Speaking blasphemy. I just asked what's the loan.
You said, are you gonna get
her all day for this?
I'm lying to me.
No.
That proposal meant nothing.
No.
Something has finally made
She don't
him
need a father.
speechless.
So, Mr. Ahmad, our dear plaintiff, thought he hit the parenting jackpot, only to be crushed under a shocking revelation. But now he was here ready and charged to get this baby girl back. Buckle up, it's a wild ride.
Mr. Ahmad, you say you were overjoyed to be a father after the birth of your first child, 22-month-old Nevaeh. However, you claim that you were crushed when the defendant later told you another man could be her dad.
So the baby daddy was over the moon with the baby news. And by the looks of it, the poor guy had been waiting a long time for this to happen. So the doubts and reservations surrounding the whole situation were killing him.
This is to be my first child, so I was overjoyed. She was high risk, so she couldn't work. So what I did, I tried to do as best as a man that I could do.
And you all were in what kind of relationship? Committed, or were you just casual friends, or what?
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
Whether baby daddy was happy or not, mommy, on the other hand, had a ton of commitment issues. She was calling it a friendship, but did not feel the love in whatever these guys shared. Ouch. It's like a romantic comedy.
He said he wanted to be her father and he would be there for us.
Talk to me about the relationship from your point of view.
It was more of a friendship for me. I loved Mr. Ahmad, but I wasn't in love with him.
Minus the romance and the comedy, Ahmad's heart is swelling with joy over the prospect of being a dad. But Day? She's whispering doubts in his ear, questioning his paternity skills. It's a heartbreak in the making, and someone's gonna need a pop culture-sized tissue for this emotional roller coaster.
Why are you so upset now? Because you feel...
I just feel like he trying to make me seem like a bad person when
No,
he
ma'am.
know that
No,
I
ma'am.
told him this might not
No,
be his
ma'am.
baby.
Hold the phone now, because it appears the plaintiff was not a goody two-shoes either. Oh yeah, Ms. Day was spilling some real tea over his behavior with her, though the baby daddy was having none of it. Cue the dramatic music, please.
You kick me out every other night. How can I live with somebody like that?
I did my
And what
best
was
to
the
take
kicking
care of
out over? Was it over other relationships, other men?
No, it was over the baby. We would argue about it and he would put me out.
Now, while Mr. Ahmad was living in a she might be mine nightmare, he was still involved in the whole journey. However, mommy did not want him to sign the birth certificate. Any guesses what he did?
When Nevaeh was born, were you present, Mr. Ahmad?
I was present the entire time she was pregnant. I cut the umbilical cord. I signed the birth certificate. After the baby was born, we left the hospital together.
Moving on, the judge dug deeper into hospital protocol and uncovered some very interesting information. According to that policy, the father can only sign if the mother provides the necessary information. Fasten your seatbelts. We're diving into birth certificate chaos.
But you did not put his name
No, I did not.
at all.
No, I did not. But I gave my baby his name because he was there. The other person was not there.
So you gave the child his last name.
Yes.
It appears mommy took a U-turn when the baby girl stopped resembling the plaintiff, though she claimed to have been truthful from the start. Her social media, on the other hand, told an entirely different story.
Do you admit that you led Mr. Ahmad to believe that he was her biological father?
No, I told him the truth from the beginning.
If you told the truth and you knew I
It's
wasn't
not
the
my fault. He
biological,
was
why would you put
intoxicated
me
and he
on?
don't
Why would you put
remember.
me on child support?
Enter the second baby daddy, aka Mr. Flowers, who gave his 2 cents on the whole situation. Now he claimed to just be here for the results. However, mommy claimed to have a much deeper connection with the guy, and Mr. Ahmad did not like that testimony.
Does this testimony surprise you, Mr. Ahmad?
I don't know this man. I'm out of this situation now, and my main deal is, what is the paternity of my baby? I say she's my baby.
And you've developed a bond with the baby.
I love Nevaeh.
You say your family has developed a bond with the baby.
Yes, ma'am.
The moment of truth was finally here, but the air was thick with uncertainty. Mr. Ahmad's emotions were juggling between love for the baby and the fear of a plot twist. Time to see what the future holds for them.
The biological father is Mr. Flowers. But listen, you are the biological father, but I need you all to understand in this room that Mr. Ahmad is still the legal father.
We have a second timer here. Mr. Scott was previously questioning another woman, and now he had another one. However, Ms. Kalon appeared chill and had a tale of vanishing acts and online romance. Get ready for a paternity bombshell that'll leave you questioning if this is real life or just another episode of Who's Your Daddy?
Mr. Scott, denying you fathered the defendant, Miss Kalon's 4-month-old daughter,
Yes,
Ezra,
Your
in today's paternity results will clear your name.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, in the world of digital romance, their love story blossomed like a bad Tinder date. They met online, chatted for 3 weeks to a month. Who's counting, right? And things got super cozy. But beware, this isn't your typical lovey-dovey narrative. Nope, it's a saga of suspicious phone snooping and trust issues that could make even Romeo and Juliet cringe.
The first night you guys had a date?
Yeah, well, you know, the reason why I went through your phone, the reason why I went through your phone is because her phone.
He had no
she
reason
can't-
to go through my phone.
Her phone didn't ring all day,
My
so I got
daughter, my
suspicious.
kids.
So you felt like since her phone didn't ring,
Yeah, something was something.
something was up. Maybe she had it on silent
Something was
or-
fishy.
As Miss Kalon spills the tea, she unveils Mr. Scott's sudden disappearance, suspecting another woman in the shadows. Scott's accusations lead to doubts, and the court becomes a stage for hurt feelings, trust issues, and a dash of online espionage. The drama unfolds as they question the foundation of their relationship.
But you weren't in a committed
Irrelevant.
relationship, right?
Yeah.
No, not at that time. No, well, at the time of upon of her arrival.
No, see,
Upon
that's why
her
he's
arrival-
stuttering,
Women, you
because
don't
he's
even
lies.
know.
Nah.
Who am I married to?
Upon
Who
her
am I
arrival,
committed to?
we was together.
Oh boy, baby daddy seemed to be ready to give all the facts and more. But the plot thickens when mommy reveals him to be a big fat liar. It's an insane tale of revelations, motel mysteries, and intimate details, all leading to the pregnancy.
So you're saying, Miss Kalon, that you
Don't
got
like you
pregnant
coming
the
'cause you can't
very
call it.
first time
Yes.
you visited him?
Yes. Yes.
The very first time.
Very first
She's
time.
saying
we
she
had
got
sex a
pregnant
good
the
5
first time
times.
she
though.
came to visit.
Obviously,
For real,
I'm-
I mean, don't get it twisted. We had sex a good 5 times that night.
Things were heating up, and they were about to heat some more. It seems these guys had issues with each other for not picking up the phone when the other called. Oh, this seems like a messy web, and we all are left wondering, who's fooling whom?
That's what it was.
Signs that he
If I call you at 12
notes
o'clock
from
at night,
himself.
if I call you at 12 o'clock at night, not once, not twice, not 3, not 4, and you don't answer the phone, something is wrong.
somebody's
And
sleeping.
then call, and
But nobody stay awake all night.
you can't call me the next. You cannot call me the
now,
next
what the
day
hell?
at 11:30 and say I was sleeping.
The plaintiff, the self-proclaimed smart man, delves into the evidence he found in the mommy's phone. By the looks of it, a few questionable pictures were enough for him to doubt the woman big time.
So,
lingerie?
Mr.
Yeah,
Scott,
man, you
you
don't do that.
submitted this evidence to the court.
Yeah.
You were
These
supposed
are
to be
the
my
pictures.
man. I was sending you something to keep you
I
happy
never
being
received that
alone in this
picture.
relationship.
You
Are
didn't
you
get that
serious?
picture.
I never received that picture.
That's one of the first pictures I sent you. I don't
takes
take
pictures
pictures like
in
that, Your Honor.
lingerie?
Come on now.
Moving on, mommy claimed to have never been in love with the guy. However, it appears these guys did share a few mutual qualities that ended up attracting them, though safe to say it was a rocky relationship with doubts about commitment. Oh, they both did not trust one another.
I would come down and see him almost every weekend. How
True.
is that not feeling you or
True.
be
But
into
at
our
the same
relationship?
time, there was other dudes
You
talking
would
about,
hide me.
I'm going to
Every
Lancaster
time I
to
went
visit
down
my
there, I
friend.
never met nobody.
And he says, oh, I can't wait to see you when you come back. Oh, I miss you too. Why? I'm not your friend. If I'm your dude, I'm your man.
Well, Mr. Scott seemed to be thrilled by the news first, or so the baby mama says. Dreams of a happy family were shared and everything. However, it all went down the drain when the baby came into the world. All hell breaks loose then.
Did you want to be a family with him?
I mean, it was what it was. I wasn't sure if that's what I
What
wanted.
was
He
it?
wanted me to move to.
Wait, you said it was what it was. What
I
was
mean,
it?
I
said,
just met him not long before that.
said,
You know,
I'm not
I was
finna move
kind
to
of like
Sacramento,
blurry
man.
about it
That
myself.
weird
You know,
city.
who does that? Who gets pregnant the first time they go see somebody?
Next up, Ms. Kalon was countersuing the plaintiff for childcare expenses and loan payments as well. Yep, the guy was in debt, though he didn't believe that himself. He was quick to shut that down.
The money she sent you, was it a loan?
No,
Yes, it was long.
no. It wasn't no loan. Why did I get a loan from her? I mean, I worked
You
at the
act
time.
like
I
I'm speaking blasphemy. I just
No,
asked,
it's
was
not
it a loan?
Yeah.
No, it was not a loan. Not
Okay,
at all.
what was it?
I said I needed it, and she
It
gave
was
it
what
to
it
me
was. It
every
wasn't
other
me taking
day.
care of somebody that obviously couldn't take care of herself.
The courtroom was buzzing with anticipation, and these guys seemed to be only good at one thing: bickering with each other. The judge, sensing potential future drama, wrapped up the case and went straight for the results.
Mr. Scott, you are not the father.
I could be woman enough to apologize and keep it moving.
Whew.
In this courtroom showdown, Miss McKinney had one goal only: to prove Mr. Davis was her biological dad, and stakes were through the roof for her. But hold on to your DNA kits just yet, because this case was just getting started.
Ms. McKinney, you are here to prove to the defendant, Mr. Davis, that he is your biological father. You say after your mother's tragic death and 2 recent medical scares of your own, today's results have become more important than ever. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's rewind a bit, shall we? Baby mama and Dada shared a romance more confusing than a Christopher Nolan film. They had a marriage, though it seemed more like a cameo appearance than true love.
How long have you believed this was your dad?
Well, my mother told me that her ex-husband was Michael Davis. The defendant is my father. Also, family members have told me that Michael Davis is my father, and also my birth certificate reads that Michael Davis is my father.
Moving on, the alleged baby daddy shared his wedding adventure. These guys got married, and then there was a sudden exit. Oh yeah, Mr. Davis got a surprise of a lifetime on his wedding day.
Did you just testify that on your wedding day, you came home to find your wife in the bed with 2 other men?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was that the end of your marriage at that point?
At that point, I left.
So, their relationship didn't survive the storm. Moving on to the time the plaintiff got to know about her father. It appears that fate played its role, and she got to meet him. However, the rainbows and sunshine soon faded after a couple of years.
And he looked at me and was like, I know your mama and your dad. I was like, oh, I don't know my father. I never met him. He was like, you want to meet your dad? And I was like, yes. And they called Michael and told him that it's a young lady here.
Next up, Miss McKinney shared a couple of pictures that were just her desperate attempt at finding some resemblance with the family. While the poor girl didn't have a father on her side, she had a grandmother.
You also submitted a picture of you, and this is Mr. Davis's mother.
Yes.
And you feel like you saw a resemblance there as well.
Me and my grandma was close.
You were?
Yes.
And she accepted you?
Yes.
Next up, we get to know that the defendant believed it was the people that put this in the plaintiff's head, and he never once accepted he was the real deal. On the other hand, he believed someone else to be the father of this girl.
It's always been Michael Anthony Davis is your father from everybody, even other men that's supposed to be the father. They always said Michael Anthony Davis is your father.
Enter Mr. Williams, the guy who had been present throughout the life of the plaintiff, and he had some startling testimony to share. But he wasn't the only witness in this case. Mr. Davis brought along his wife as well. Things were heating up.
Did you believe you were her biological father? What did her mom tell you about her pregnancy?
Well, after we'd been together, and then maybe about 6 months into the relationship, she told me she was pregnant.
With all this family drama that has been going on for years, one thing was sure, that Ms. McKinney deserved to know her real father, and Lauren Lake had that answer for him. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Here goes nothing.
Mr. Davis, you are not.
We've got Mr. Wilson here, who had been accusing Miss Dean of turning his home into a love nest. The plot thickens as we delve into the saga of baby Jakaya, a 17-month-old cutie caught in the crossfire of a relationship gone sour.
Mr. Wilson, you've opened your case today to prove that Miss Dean's 17-month-old daughter, Jakaya, is not your biological child. You say you moved her into your home, laid out the red carpet, only to find out she was rolling around with other men.
So here's the lowdown on their love story. Plaintiff claimed he rolled out the red carpet, only to be met with disappointment. Oh, the drama. Accusations from planning the baby to concessions were the order of the day here.
So, Mr. Wilson, you saying you've been fooled once, you've been fooled twice, but you're not gonna be fooled again?
Correct, Your Honor.
And Miss Dean, you say this is unnecessary.
It really is.
Well, these guys were just about throwing shades at each other. One way or another, Facebook shenanigans and whispered conversations gave birth to not only the baby, but this whole mess as well.
She hit me up like, what you up to, and this, that, and the other. At the time, I was taking care of my stepfather, had my own house, car, working, things of that nature. And because I had previous relationships with her in the past, I was single, she was single, we decided to meet up. and we met up, and we actually planned the baby. The baby was just not a coincidence.
Well, the supposed concessions and Facebook likes turned into a baby-making scheme. But oh, the horror! Mr. Wilson starts doubting when inconsistencies arise, and Ms. Dean's storytelling takes a detour. Concessions turn into whispers, echoes, and late-night visits. The confusion was real as he dug into the details, trying to unravel the mysteries of Ja'Kiah's conception.
When you found out you were pregnant,
I called him, he was acting like he was happier than 2 jaybirds.
all right, so you called Mr. Wilson and he was happy.
Yes, and then when the baby came out, you couldn't tell him that that wasn't his kid at all.
Okay.
As the relationship grew, so did the suspicions. Mommy wasted no breath in calling the baby daddy a liar. Oh, somebody was twisting things in this love story. For sure, the plot thickens, and the truth still remains elusive.
Gennaro was supposed to be living with me. I asked Gennaro to move in with me.
I
when
wouldn't
we
have moved
found out
with
we
her
moved.
when I had a bigger home, Your
What do you
Honor. I had a
mean?
3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. She was in a 2-bedroom apartment and 1 bathroom in a 4 duplex that was not.
What do you mean? You proposed to me in that duplex. What are you talking about?
Fasten your seatbelts. We are about to dive into the birth certificate saga. Along with the ex's drama, Mr. Wilson went ahead and talked to the infamous ex. And lo and behold, the story took a different turn. But he still signed on the dotted line, embracing fatherhood. What was up with that now?
So why'd you sign the birth certificate?
I'm gonna tell you why. When the baby was born, it was so light and bright. I was like, he's so dark, she's dark. It's no way he's the father. I still didn't have doubts until she called me on FaceTime with him on the phone.
Moving on, the mama goes into quite a long rant regarding all the disappointments she faced. Baby daddy wasn't stepping up to the plate, and when he did, well, things took a different turn.
Why would he just have the baby?
He had the baby trying to take the baby so he can be with someone else. He used me, basically.
She watched too many Lifetime, Your
No,
Honor.
he used me, Your Honor. After I had that baby, Your Honor, he proposed to me, told me that we were gonna get married, moved in together.
Mr. Wilson's sister stepped up next to him, and boy, she had a lot to say, and this drama has been going for quite some time now. She was not happy that Mama was back in their life again, so she showed her distaste, along with the families.
What do you know about this?
When this baby, when she was pregnant with this baby, yes, I asked my brother, why are you dealing with her again? She did this to you 9 years ago. Why are you getting yourself in a situation? We had just lost our father, so he grieved into this baby.
Oh, the tension was building as the court got ready to unveil the truth about Ja'Kiah's paternity. Wilson's desire for closure and Dean's anticipation collided as the revelation was about to unfold. Let's see whether the daddy gets to hear those 4 words or not.
Mr. Wilson, you are not the father.
Look.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, let's
grow up.
That's enough. Real truth is,
The courtroom was about to become a battleground of truth and parenthood. Strap in, folks, because this ain't your regular episode. Mr. Harrington claimed the defendant was pinning a baby on him. Yep, he was singing that song, but the case was just getting started.
Mr. Harrington, you claim you are not the father of Miss Day's 1-month-old daughter, Nalani Day, and want her to stop pinning her baby on you. You say your sexual relationship with the defendant ended before she got pregnant.
So, the potential baby daddy dropped truth bombs, accusing the mama of playing pin the baby on the good dad game. Meanwhile, she was standing firm, claiming divine maternity. Oh, you won't believe what she testified to.
What do you do?
He is not the father of my child. I am the Virgin Mary. There's no other possibilities. I have not been messing around with anybody else throughout the time that we were messing around.
Who knew an MRI appointment would turn into getting the news of a lifetime? Well, that happened to our dear Ms. Day. Oh, the glamour. However, baby daddy soon jumped into evidence of why he was not the guy the woman was looking for. Oh, it was one heck of text chain.
That
How did you find out she was pregnant?
an anonymous texter, I swear. We got into a conversation, I got the text right here.
So you say
tripping.
you got a tip from an anonymous texter.
Anonymous text.
A text comes through to your phone and it says,
So, text messages from an anonymous tipper, missed cycles, and a sprinkle of denial. That was what created this paternity chaos. And it was brimming with some more as the baby daddy delved deeper into his doubts, taking us right along with him. Ooh, fun. Say it sarcastically.
I didn't pick up the phone or
But you
something
never told
like
me
that.
you was pregnant though.
I did tell
No,
you I
you
was
didn't.
pregnant.
You told. I found out in January.
I found out in January too. That's
No, you
when I
didn't.
went to go. Your Honor,
Lord have
I
mercy.
found out when I found out that I was pregnant.
Oh, something was definitely amiss. And you can see the confidence with which Mommy started testifying, slowly crumbling as all the skeletons in her closet come out to play. But first, let's sort out this Guy 1 and Guy 2 mystery.
the tip was true that you were pregnant, but you're saying there was no guy number 1 and guy number 2.
No, it wasn't. There is
two.
a guy number 1 and a guy number 2, but not a guy number 1 and a guy number 2 potentially to be my child's father.
Well, doubts were there, but Daddy still showed up at the hospital. Now we gotta hear that story from the defendant's witness, because her version took the cake in this Who's the Daddy saga.
You showed up for the birth as the daddy?
No. No,
Yes,
I didn't even sign a birth certificate. How?
You didn't sign a birth certificate, but you wanted to give her your last name?
If it's mine.
How?
If it's mine. I said, if you're sure that it's my child, give her my last name.
No, you did not.
I did
You
say
said,
that.
are you gonna give her my last name?
And so hold on, let's get some order.
Moving on, the baby daddy comes up with an interesting chauffeur analogy to describe his fun times with Ms. Day. But that's not just it. PH, he came prepared with an exhibit. Buckle up, it was confusion conception time.
I put in August 3rd, 2018 as the due date.
So wait a minute, how did you even get what the due date was? You heard it at the appointment?
Yes.
So the doctor said
The doctor said that.
All right, so you put that into a conception
and
calculator.
I hit generate and November 10th.
Well, that was one heck of a calendar and its calculations. People certainly did their homework, and it was making sense. Mommy didn't vibe with that, so she laid into him.
That was during the time when he was still completing the sexual act.
No, I wasn't completing it in October.
You wasn't? Are you serious?
I know
no, you obviously don't.
Mr. Harrington, you can step back over to the
I know what I was doing.
Well, looky here. Ms. Day was all over the place. Oh yeah, I bet she was regretting to come to the court now. And he's switching up her testimony in one last-ditch effort to save face. Backfired. Oh.
It cannot. I know that could be only one other person.
You don't know.
No, I do.
Fascinating testimony, Ms. Day. We've been waiting all day for this.
No, I think people are getting confused of what I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna let that testimony speak for itself.
Now that all made this last part all the more interesting, won't you guys agree? Well, the results were in, and Judge Lael seemed about ready to deliver her final verdict on the mess these guys created. Let's find out who was the daddy, who was the she.
Mr. Harrington, you are not the father.
What?
Told you,
Are
bro.
you serious?
Told you, can I really rock?
You need to